You just step in their necks, constantly abuse them.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, everybody? What is happening? If you're in here, let me know in that comment section. First and foremost, I am your host, Chef C from New Jersey. Tapping in. This is On Their Next Podcast, and we're going live with the Angry Black Man's Book Club, Pat Talk number 15, family. Pat Talk number 15. If you hear me, if you're live in the chat, let me know what it looked like. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you're here for the first time, let me know where you're coming from. The brothers will be in the building shortly. Better believe that I got my brother Q from Let's Talk 2. Brother Dr. Randy Short is our gracious host, of course. We hopefully have the brother Lone Wolf Firearms tapping in with us here. Let me know in that comment section where you're coming from. And if you haven't already liked, shared, and subscribed, make sure you do that. We are live. Shout out to being in the chat. Shout out to being in the chat. Shout out to Claw in the chat. What's happening with you? Shout out to Let's Talk. My brother Q, always in the building. You're definitely here for a good cook up. I see a good amount of y'all already in here in the building. I see it's a good amount of y'all already in here. This is what we're talking about. But today, the conversation. My brother Short hit me up. Peace, brother Chris. Peace. My brother Dr. Short hit me up and he said, listen, let's talk about all of Biden's angels. And what is that? The most degenerate bunch of black-looking females sent out here to be the quote-unquote face of black excellence. Bunch of black-looking, boot-licking, Democrat-toting jigaboos and heifers all over the place. Yes, indeed, I said that. This is not one of those politically correct broadcasts, just to be very clear. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to shout out to everybody that's in here, man. You know, we're going to take a brief commercial break, y'all. I'm going to check in with the fellas. We got a brief commercial break, and we'll be right back after this. This is On Their Next Podcast, tapping in with the Angry Black Man's Book Club, Pat Talk number 15, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it locked with us. We'll be right back after this commercial.
I've been all over the world. I've noticed this about Black Americans, and I'll stop here. We have more people trying to turn us around than I've seen for any other group anywhere in the world relative to what our situation is. That you've got teachers, you got people that will just do stuff. If they find out you're legit, just help you because they want to see Black folks make it. We do have this. This is lacking in other places, I can assure you. But you know what? Our desire to save people cannot be greater than people's desire to be saved and to help. So the people that do not want it, let them go. Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. I sure get it nowadays.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know what that is the critically acclaimed Bloodline Films from the Soil. That's our Black American docu-series where we travel all around the country, waking up the cultural cuisine and, of course, the Black American grassroots advocates in pursuit of reparative justice. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? Let me go ahead and go through the comments in here. Sound off. Let me know where you're from. I need to know what cooks done checked into the community kitchen right now for today's service, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know who's in the community kitchen right now. Shout out to Alan in the community kitchen right now. Let's give Alan a big gunshot in the morning. In the building, Alan in the building. Shout out to my brother Chris in the building. Peace, brother Chris. What's happening with you? Another gunshot for dead. Gunshot in the building. Brother Chris is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. All right, brother Chris is in the building. Let me see who else is in here. Of course, you know I got my brother Q from Let's Talk to work in the chat and is going to be tapping in live with us. Brother Q in the building. Gunshot for Q. Huh? I'm feeling real Rastafari today, although I'm not Jamaican at all. Peace to the family that's in here. We got brother Nico in the chat already with the cook up. He's here for the cook up. Gunshot for Nico. Huh? I got my Spraga Benz voice on today, y'all. I got the Spraga Benz voice on. Make sure y'all like, sharing, and subscribing, y'all. Make sure y'all like, sharing, subscribing. We also got Vina in the chat as well. We got Vina in the building. Gunshot for Vina. My Ribes Cartel sounds. Shout out to all of y'all that's tapping in right now. Who else we got in this chat? I'm just going to roll call. I want to see what cooks done checked into the community kitchen today. I got Claude in the chat as well. Gunshot for Claude. Yeah. I see y'all here. Y'all came here for the Sunday cook up. Y'all came for the Sunday cook up, and I understand. Y'all here for this as usual, right? And it's only right. It's only right to be on that type of time, right? Because I know y'all looking at this thumbnail and y'all seeing a bunch of jigaboo mammies in that thumbnail. Let me know what I'm talking about right here. A bunch of shout out to angry black man in the building. Gunshot for angry black man. A blood clot, a gunshot. I'm on my Vibes Cartel today. You understand? I'm on my Spraga Benz today. I'm feeling that type of way. Make sure we got Rebel in the building. Gunshot for Rebel, a blood clot. Listen, the cook up is going to happen today. Whether we want it or not, it's that type of time. It's that type of time for the cook up today. If you're in the chat, who the rest of y'all? Let me know if you're in the chat. We getting the roll call. I need to know what cooks is in the building today for the saute. Right? We got a early afternoon service today. My sister DW in the building as usual. DW with a gunshot. DW, one of our phenomenal moderators, very reliable, top tier moderator. Y'all holla at my sister DW. That's a rider right there since day one in the building. Double gunshot for him. I'm on my Vibes Cartel time today, y'all. I'm on my Vibes Cartel time today. Yeah. Before we get all the way into this thing, understand something, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Understand something real quick before we go too far. All right. Let's go ahead. I want y'all to understand, if y'all haven't gone over to check out some of our merch, we got these fly ass Black American Heritage flag Converses. You can go to, all right, from the soil.tv, put on section to go cop you a pair. Those are the limited editions. We are doing business. We do got merch. We are doing things in here. Make sure you go cop you a pair, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely very fly. If you haven't copped yours, go cop yours. And if you're here for the cook up, make sure you go get your apron. Black American Heritage Flag aprons, same website from the soil.tv. Go ahead and cop you an apron and make sure you're cooking up. I know Easter's around the corner. Some of y'all doing some nasty ass baked macaroni cheese and all of that. This is going to help you get that mac and cheese together. You understand me? This is going to make sure that your mac and cheese is macking and that fried chicken is chickening the right kind of way. Gunshot for the flavor. Vibes Cartel type of time in here today, y'all. Vibes Cartel type of time in here. That's right. Hey, Claude, listen. Evil. I'm with you on that. Let's go back to that thumbnail for these bunch of mammies, jigaboos. Evil has an expiration date. Shout out to Claude. Evil has an expiration date, ladies and gentlemen. And as we are approaching this year's election, we got to make it plain, right? We got to make it plain. These are the faces with which they toted out in front of Black America for decades now, right? Several years now, particularly that Joy. Look at Joy Reid, black looking woman, but that wig is hit. Talk to me about that wig, y'all. That wig, that blonde wig, look, toe up from the flow up. That is definitely a plastic wig on that head. You understand? We just kind of get an understanding, it ain't? Allen Hollywood, it's time for our reparations. Allen Hollywood in the building. Gunshot for Allen. Come on. I'm on that type of time today, Allen. The cook up is going to happen today. I got my brother Q from Let's Talk 2 in the building. We waiting for the rest of the brothers to get in here. But we're going to have a couple conversations about some things before we lead up to the main finale, which is Biden's angels, Biden's treasonous angels, right? Treasonous angels. We're going to make sure we put that out there and give it the proper. Oh, absolutely. Better believe that. Angry Black Man's Book Club. We letting the brothers get on up in here. Shout out to Vina. Shout out to Vina. Evil has an expiration date. And as we are watching this nonsense go on, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody that's sliding in here. All right. As we are watching this nonsense go on and constantly have these different women toted out in front of us, Joy Reid's been holding that Democratic line for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. Joy Reid has been holding that Democratic line for a long time. Then you got your girl Kataji sitting up there and they act like it's a W for Black America. Oh, she the first black, whatever, blah, blah, blah. How's that a W for you? How is that a W for your children, y'all? Right? How is that? Look, you got Kamala over there who been a pass around before. Every sister ain't a sister. Nico in the building. Every sister ain't a sister. Gotta lock and load for that one. Gotta lock and load for that one, Nico. Had to lock and load for that. Every sister ain't a sister. Yeah, you know what I mean? You got to qualify to even be a sister, right? If you want to give them that title, you got to qualify to be a sister, right? Look. Nico in the building. Nico gonna run it up. Nico, you on that type of time today. I understand you. Nico said, not one FBA in the whole Rat Pack. Hey, listen. Well, they're saying that Fanny is FBA for those who go by that. Foundational Black American for those who are just tapping in. Fanny, they're saying Fanny is FBA, brother Nico. Okay. They're also saying that that's what time it is today. Indeed, sir. Indeed. So, look, listen, ladies and gentlemen. Kataji is supposed to be your first black female, right? She's supposed to be one of the first black faces in high places. Another waste of fucking time, as far as I'm concerned, y'all. More wasting of time, more symbolic nothingisms for a bunch of do nothing lookalikes. Because they look like the black population, but they don't move a needle for nobody, right? Kamala, she's running around doing little parties at a crib. Kamala got a party at the crib. Y'all had checked into the broadcast last week. She had a little party at her crib with quote unquote some of the next generation's promising leadership to be. The nation's next level of promising leadership, quote unquote, right? Now, I'm just here to keep it 100 and simple, y'all. They in there playing Sexy Red. It was all bullshit. You know, let me see something. We got AI Moore in the building. He says, Kataji don't know the difference between a man and a woman. We knew she was over before it started. That's a fact. Hey, Al Moore, that's a fact. We knew it was over. Gunshot fire. We knew it was over. Right? You know, I listen, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to understand something though, right? We got to understand something here. This is your leadership, right? Look at Kataji. Shout out to Kataji. A waste of time. Shout out to Kataji. Absolute waste of time. Doesn't she? Hey, help me out in the chat, family. Doesn't she have a white husband? And does that matter to you if her husband is white, black, or whatever? Does that even matter to the family in the chat? Can these people who engage in opposite race relations relate or lead Black America or represent Black America? Should they even be in a position to do so? She got a zaddy and it absolutely matters. Shout out to Al. Al, you here for the shit already, huh, Al? Al here for the shit. Gunshot for Al in the blood. Al not here to play with nobody. I see you, Al. You not here to play with these motherfuckers today, man. I see you. Al not here to play with cats. The zaddy is a problem, Al is saying. You understand? Al said the zaddy is a problem. However, they toted her out in front of us, right? They toted her out in front of us and said, listen, you got what you asked for. See, Black America, the problem we are facing. Let me make sure I get my brother Q. Let's bring brother Q up to the building. Bring brother Q in the building here. Hold on. Let me not go too far. Let me get my brother Q. Let me hold on. Let me drop this down and get my brother Q, the guard in the building. Brother Q, what's happening with you, brother Q?
What's up, bro? What's going on? How's everybody doing out there in the chat?
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys for joining us this afternoon. Very little disappointed for last week, man, but last week's show was great. I was in a bad reception area, but appreciate everybody in the chat. See everybody in the chat is definitely standing on Black American business this afternoon.
Gunshot for that. Hold on, Q. Gunshot. They really standing on it, Q. And hold you. You got that though.
One thing for sure is you can't let these coonettes, the angels of Biden, these coons, these treasonous individuals, you can't let up on them.
Right.
The minute that you decide to let up on them is the minute that they're going to do 10 times more things to you. Brother was just mentioning Kachani, right? Do you know that she was one of the people that shot down the First Step Act that just got decided on?
Kataji was one of the first people to shut down the Step Act.
It's a provision in the First Step Act. She was one of the people with the dissenting opinion that just shot it down.
Now, go into what the First Step Act is.
First Step Act was something that the former President Trump put in and legislation put in for nonviolent drug offenders.
Mm.
So it's a small provision in there that the Supreme Court took up. And we all know that the Supreme Court is heavily conservative. However, they do have some what we call liberals on that justice, what some of the justices, and Kachani is one of them.
Mm.
Shut that down. Not saying that black people or foundational or native black Americans are the only ones committing crimes. However, if we want to be B1, if we say that it's all about our people, definitely the ones that have been harmed by these draconian drug laws that Biden put in, that Biden was a part of for 40 years of his reckoning in legislation, we should be doing everything in our power to reverse everything that was done from those draconian drug laws.
Right.
So, and as for Fannie, she sold that nigga out quicker than a New York minute.
Come on, brother Q.
Look, the judge told her, one of y'all got to go. It wasn't her.
Fanny got the Fanny threw Fanny threw that name.
It wasn't her.
Dude, that was your black girl magic, y'all. That's what the nuclear family supposed to be moving like now.
It wasn't her.
Y'all said Fanny was it. Although she was paying for pipe.
And Chef C, with all due respect, really what she could have did, because she named a parking meter prosecutor as her lead for the investigation into Trump. She could have easily said, my case, there's a lot of times with prosecution, my case is so strong and the evidence is so strong, I'm going to let another whole district attorney office handle it. If you think your case is that strong, you can do that. Right. But she said she wanted to stand on the case. Now, what this does is this opens up a precedent for his attorneys to come in like wolves. Like sometimes people think that in cases, when judges make rulings, those rulings be against you. But actually what those rulings do is they set precedent in case law and they could come back and bite you in the ass. So Jim Jordan has summoned Fannie to come in front of Congress for using federal money into this investigation. See, Fannie has put herself in what we call dealing with white supremacy and white supremacy's affairs. And they're going to get her. They're going to get her. Because Najla says she used some money for some stuff that she wasn't supposed to use money for. All them checks ain't balancing. But, that's what goes on, man. That's why she's a Biden angel. Because angels do fall. But like I said, man, it's a lot of going on, Chef C.
Well, and listen, I need her to get that. I need them to hang her out to dry. I need her to go all the way down. I need somebody to be made an example of, because as they continue to roll these raggedy heifers out, okay, and tell us that we're supposed to be happy about them being in positions of do nothing. This is supposed to be a great move or an advancement for Black America when we see these people in these positions. However, the condition for our people still remains the same and detrimental collectively. So, listen, I want her to be hung out to dry. Fannie needs to be made an example, and people like Fannie. We got your girl in here. We got this raggedy one right here. Joy Reid. Now that she came out and said something about her people having built the country. Okay, and shout out to all the Black Americans in here today. I'm seeing Black Americans standing 10 toes today. Y'all in here today on a Sunday. But your girl Joy Reid came out, Black America. She came out and said her family built this country. And white boy told her, hold on. You're not even from the country.
and see, that's the thing is that, Chef C, we come from an area in the country where And I'm not saying that our area is any different than any other area because we're Native Black Americans, but you had to know knowledge of self. And
Right.
it's unfortunate that a lot of people like Joy Reid, they know who they are, but they like to assimilate and to try to get these positions, and they get these positions, and then they think they don't understand that we're in the age of receipts. If you don't think that your adversary has receipts on you, you're highly mistaken of what type of warfare you're in.
Right.
Whether the receipts is mind blowing, whether the receipts support what you're saying, whether the receipts will just destroy your career. People got receipts. Joy Reid is out here playing in the media's eyes. I'm surprised she even still got a job, with all due respect, because she don't know half of the stuff she be talking about. If you ever notice Joy Reid, and I don't watch that news channel, but every 30 days she'll throw something out there about reparations. See, that's what they do. They'll say something about reparations just to get the grassroots people to bite.
Right.
And then they'll say some stuff like that. My people built this country. Who are your people? You've never attached yourself to Native Black Americans. Never.
Where your family from? Who your people from? It definitely support the channel, though, ladies and gentlemen. You can hit the Cash App $FTS49. Support the broadcast. I am searching for my brother Dr. Shaw. He'll be in here shortly, though, y'all. If he doesn't, we still gonna cook up a little bit. But I think the brother matter of fact, I got a message right now. But okay. Nah, definitely you want to support the program, sponsor the program, y'all. Hit the Cash App $FTS49. Brother Q, what is your Cash App if they'd like to support you as well, sir? What is your Cash App?
I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
Yes, sir. Please do that. Please do that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share the screen with y'all. I want to just remind y'all about something here, right? Because, again, Joy Reid, what her whole family built this country bullshit, right? Her family built the country bullshit. But remember, Joy Reid is no different in many situations than the Oprah Winfrey, y'all. All right, Oprah Winfrey would come out, you get a car, and be the first one to go ahead and talk shit about black men, right? Try to throw us all the way under the bus. Made that raggedy ass documentary. Still hasn't brought out anything on your man Harvey Weinstein, though, her best friend, her bestie. See, this is the issue I have with a lot of nonsense. Shout out to Cut the Check in the building. My brother Cut the Check in the building. Gunshot for the Lord. Right? That's the type of time we on for the cook up today. Cut the Check is in the building, y'all. She got that hair helmet on. Cut the Check said, Georgie got the hair helmet on, y'all. Look at this one. Remember this helmet. Remember, y'all gotta be careful.
Chef C, with all due respect to a person like Joy Reid, you know, you guys, and I know that we discuss tethers and people that be doing the tethering. Well, what we need, honestly, is Native Black Americans, is we need allies that's going to be part helping us and being with us in solidarity. We don't have that, and if we do got it, then it's not going to be publicly. Right. It's not. Right. They're not going to do it. So, you know, you get a lot of our brothers who are content creators, and they hard on the tethers necks, and rightfully so.
Right, right.
However, there are people in the diaspora that be supportive of what Black Americans are plight, and we're supportive of their plight.
Right.
However, we got to you know, as they say, man, we got to trim the fat off, man.
Trim the fat in this mug.
We got to trim the fat.
Come on, man.
Chef C, you know how it is. Chef C, you know how it is when you're at the butcher and you like, look, man, you gotta leave a little bit of that marbling on, but you gotta take some of that piece off.
Let him cook.
Don't start with me, brother Q. Don't do me that way, man.
Leave a little bit of that marbling on. We need some flavor, but sometimes you got to trim the fat, and you have to always continue calling these people out on their stuff. I mean, if myself or any member that comes up here,
Right.
If we start doing some out of the pocket stuff, man, we got to hold each other accountable.
Mm.
Like, really, man, because treasons, listen, I said it in the chat. We are the only group of people on this planet where our treasonous, excuse my English, you guys, they get promotions.
Mm.
They get accolades.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Why we don't give the treasons what they get? Everybody else, they're treason. If you commit treason against your people, you get exactly what your hands call for. But we're the only group of people. We don't say nothing. We say, oh, the good outweigh the bad. People could harm our community. People could grift. People could take money from the community, do all type of backhand stuff to us. And we say, oh, beat me again.
Mm.
Hit me on my backside again.
Mm. Mm. You know what, Brother Q? Hold on. Let me drop this. Any of the family that's in the chat want to tap in right now, feel free to tap in. The link is in the chat. Shout out to my brother, Third Coast Royalty in their building. Gunshot for Third. My brother, Third Coast in the building. Shout out to Third, y'all. Y'all welcome my brother Third to the cook up. I also want to send a massive shout out to Nico for hitting the Cash App. Shout out to brother Nico for hitting the Cash App in the building. Gunshot for Nico. Down the alarm for Nico. Drop the flex bomb. Shout out to Nico for the Cash App supporting the community kitchen. We appreciate you, brother Nico.
Hey, Chef C, I got a picture I want to put up.
Well, hold on. Hold that. Before you go live, I got another. Oh, shit. Shout out to brother Bill Gibbs hitting the Cash App, dropping a bomb, the gunshot. Sounding like drop the bomb. Shout out to Bill hitting the Cash App. That's what I love it, family. I love y'all coming through with the real service, not lip service on this Sunday for the broadcast. We appreciate y'all really tapping in with us. But I got this clip, right? Now, my brother Q, just you and I both know in the family in here, y'all know. When every once in a while they got to spank they bootlicks, right? Every once in a while, a bootlick get a wake-up call. And I'm gonna tell you, with this one, I got a clip for y'all to check out, right? I'm gonna bring this clip up for the family. Okay. Now, in this clip, Joy Reid had the nerve to slip up and say some curse words on the network, on the Daddy's network. And they said, hold on, heifer. Hold on. You're getting a little too uppity. You're getting a little too uppity, Joy Reid. So now let's go ahead and play this clip real quick.
Take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another war.
Up, Joy. Joy. she had no joy when you slipped that out. Hot mic, goddammit. Hot mic, heifer. You wasn't supposed to say that on live. Your daddy did not appreciate the disrespect live, ladies and gentlemen. Daddy didn't appreciate that. Let's play the rest of the clip, though. Hold on. Let me go back.
Take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
Oh, don't hate on me. Let's go. Don't hate on your boy.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another war. Still trying to kill the deal. He bragged about blocking progress and said, please blame him if it fails.
Yeah, let's hold it right there. They caught her ass. They said, listen, you out here dropping that F-bomb, okay? Lady, that's not what we told you to do. I'm going to go ahead and pat you on your head. The big boys up top, center up top, family. Center up top and had to sit down with their little bootleg and say, hey, listen, next time you get off the program, we're going to have to sit you down. We're going to have to sit you down, and you won't be able to buy no more of them wigs. You will not be able to buy any more of these wigs. You get out of pocket like that again. You understand? So when y'all listen, any aspiring bootleg, let this be a fair warning to you. All right? Any aspiring bootleg, you get out of pocket, you forget your surroundings. Daddy got something for your ass. Shout out to my sister Earth Angel in the building. Earth, it's been a long time, sis. Shout out to you. I ain't seen you in a minute, Earth Angel. Shout out to you tapping into the community kitchen. Gunshot for Earth. Shout out to that sister right there. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Brother Q, if you got that image, go ahead and share that image, brother. You need me to what we need me to open the link up for you?
I'm gonna get it right now for you. Hold
yes,
on,
sir. Feel free to share that. Now, shout out to everybody that's tapped in with us for the first time. There you go. Look at that. But there we go. Let me see what Red Sigma said. Red Sigma says, hey, the purpose of a token is to be spent. Shout out to Red Stigma in the building. Gunshot for Sid.
Hey, Chef C, you can add it up on the screen now. It
Yes,
should be
sir.
back there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, y'all on some super Black American shit today. Shout out to y'all. I'm not even mad at y'all today. I love it. I love it today. Let me go ahead and share this image. Y'all, look at this. Look at this. Look. I
apologize to the Black family for this image.
Listen.
This is Congressman Barbara Wilson down in Florida, y'all.
Oh, shit. And which raggedy is this?
Congressman Barbara Wilson in Florida.
Oh, my God. Barbara Wilson down for the count, y'all. Barbara Wilson, look at this. And this is what they think. Listen, y'all, I want y'all to be clear about something. Let's understand something. To them, having a raggedy, sleepy alien dried up, kissing on your hand, patting you on your head, this is Black excellence to these folks, y'all. Do you understand? This is Black excellence to these folks, and they are the ones who are then put above you to kind of be some fucking slave man, like be the overseer of y'all.
He's anointing her.
He's yes. He's dubbing her the whore of Babylon.
She's becoming another angel.
Oh man! Shout out to Q with the angel talk. Gunshot for Claire. Man, a full crash out angel. Listen, family in the chat, are y'all wearing that hat on today's Sunday service? Are y'all wearing this hat in church, ladies? Is this your hat?
Yes, Queen, push through. Yes, yes.
Don't do them dirty.
Black girl tragic 101.
Tragically,
yes, Queen.
Man, this is atrocious. Shout out to everybody that's hitting the Cash App again. If you want to sponsor the show, $ FTS49. $30 is the sponsor for the show. Okay, $30 is the sponsor for the show. $ FTS49. Definitely, we're looking for our first sponsor, and anyone that matches that, you become a co-sponsor, and anyone that goes above that is the prominent sponsor for today's show. $30 for the sponsor of the show. Hit that Cash App, y'all. Support the program. But let's keep on cooking on this, Brother Q. Let's keep on cooking on this here.
Yeah, she said in the comments to this picture, she said, I love President Biden.
In the comments?
In the comments to this picture, I got this picture, and she said, I love President Biden, and I'm glad what he does for this country.
Oh, hell. Oh, no. See, this is why we can't. This is why reparations is looking very, very gleamish right now.
Reparations? This is our reparations.
Oh, hell no.
This is, with all due respect, right? And we know our flight for reparations is real. And MFM give us our mother effing money.
Right.
But with all due respect, man, these people don't take us serious. These people got these angelic black figures that we're talking about today, and they're in position to give us tokenism and reparations, symbolic gestures. And even so, and I'm going to show you guys the next picture, Chef C. This is part of the reparations package that's being reeled out.
Oh, hell no.
Kamala Harris is having a commission.
Come on, stop.
On
Q.
on
Q with the damn.
on reform for anybody that gets arrested for weed. So, in the federal level. So, if you get arrested for marijuana on a high level, she feel the top prosecutor of California at one time. She feel as though you shouldn't be criminalized.
Right.
And they bring Fat Joe from the Bronx.
They got Fat Joe in the building. Ladies and gentlemen,
take
Fat
us
Joe,
serious.
terror squatted. This dude, and listen, we can't forget this. And see, now you got me going where I need to go with this, Brother Q. Do not forget that Fat Joe said he lied about damn near everything in his life. So if the guy is then coming out telling you he's trying to fight on the behalf of quote unquote whatever color people, whatever the hell it is, you can almost guarantee that that's a lie too. Fat Joe has been, first and foremost, he's a revolt hoe. All right. He works for Diddy. He's a hoe. Okay. And wherever the money is, that's where Fat Joe is going. This is why you got also cats like Buster Crimes coming out talking goofy shit too. These people are paid to be out here on bullshit. You got to understand that. And as we get closer to this election, y'all, right? As we get closer, you can bet your ass there's going to be more people rolled out, these quote unquote celebrities being rolled out here to speak on your behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, let me see what Brother Mike in the chat says. Well, first and foremost, let me go to Red Sigma. Actually, let me go to y'all been lighting the chat up. This is crazy. Let me go to Earth Angel real quick. That's a demon. That's a fact. Sister shout out to DW. DW said them niggas is it's ashy in there. DW crazy. Let's go to Red Sigma. Red Sigma said that's white Jesus to them, referring to Biden kissing on that boot.
Yes, and he's kissing on his angel.
White Jesus, that's a fact. These people, they can't wait to rub pearls and elbows next to these folks. They cannot wait to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see what Mike talking about. Mike said Republican policies are so bad for anyone not super rich, no matter they have had a hard time winning elections since 2018.
Mike, I agree with you if you in the sense of you living in a big city. However, if you look at the Republican strongholds, as majority of it is urban America, and their policies do not hurt a person that live in a big city. A big city, majority of our big cities, and most people get mad when they hear these facts. Most people that live in big cities, they're ran by our Democratic brothers and sisters, and those big cities are shit. Flint, Michigan, still got bad water. Detroit looks like shit. Chef C and myself is from Newark area. Newark looks like crap. New York City is ran by illegals, running around doing whatever they want to do. Right. Chicago, LA. This is the problem. This is the problem. You have these angelic beings, and right now we're talking about the women, but even the soft, wet back, boneless, spineless, political punk men, brothers that run some of these cities, the Everett Abrams. These guys are in the way. They're in the way of true liberation for Black American people. And it's been going on forever. And it's going to continue going on because we don't vote and if we do vote, in our best interest. We just don't do it. You'll hear a person who don't even vote locally, who vote federally, speak on matters not in his own area, which is crazy.
Right.
Which is crazy when you think about it. So I know that we don't want to turn this show into a political show, because it's not about the political show. It's about Biden and his angels and how they don't be in the best interest for Native Black Americans, how they have continued selling us out, and they need to be put on blast. And that's the least that we should be doing to them, is putting them on blast.
That's a fact, Brother Q.
That's the least.
I mean, you know, and that's the bare minimum. I mean, listen, unfortunately, here's a true reality that we got to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. For the most part, because we have an issue with collectively moving in the way that we need to, it's getting there, but it's taking quite some time to get to that collective mobility. But for right now, the only weapon we have is shaming, right? And listen, I mean, it doesn't make it any less valuable, but we do have to shame these folks out of these positions, and even being the ones who speak on our behalf. Anytime they're around, you got to shame them. You got to get up on them. You got to talk that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You got to flood their post, because at the end of the day, there's going to be people who come across those posts and then also get to a place where they agree with your sentiment, right? They'll be able to see it from your side, because again, media controls one part of the narrative that they want to project. It is then our responsibility, with the little means that we have, right, to then kind of combat that, whether it be shaming them in their comments, whether it be seeing them at their public press conferences and things like that, public press addresses, and shaming them in front of the other people who look to them as, these powerful people. Shout out to the brother Negro in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Gunshot for the Negro. Brother Negro, hit that link, man. It's in the chat, brother. I want you to tap it. You already know what type of time it is today. The brothers are slowly trickling in here. Tap in, Negro. All right.
So Chef C. So
yes,
when we look at Fat Joe,
yes,
and
sir.
you eloquently put it out at how he's part of revolt, and the arm of revolt politically is that they are the urban media propaganda of the Democratic Party.
Correct.
And when you look at an individual like Fat Joe, and we know the clip that our brother Malcolm has said for years, that entertainers and comedians should not be speaking for us.
Right.
But when you look at Fat Joe is an individual who has some issues with tax evasion, which is okay, which is understandable. But after this, Fat Joe has been placed, and this is the selection process. He has been placed as a voice for the urban community. He speaks, and this is what rappers do now, is they try to say they speak for the culture, which music is a part of the culture, but it's not the culture.
Right.
So when she brings an individual like this in, what it does is, for the young Native Black Americans, is that it gives them a face to, oh, these policies are right. These policies this. So it gives the illusion that, number one, all Black people are committing these crimes, which is not factually true.
Right.
Or the majority, definitely when it comes to marijuana. It gives the illusion that all Black Americans, whether you partake in marijuana use or not, that we are the ones using marijuana the most. And what does this individual know about reentry? Has he ever had to press 5 for his brothers and comrades that's in the Bureau of Prisons? Is this individual ever been locked up for a federal crime? Has he ever been in the quote unquote the streets? And we're not talking rap. He clearly said before that he's lied in 99% of his music.
Come on.
So we got to understand what real advocacy is or symbolism. And this is the stuff that goes on. You want to get people that have been put in 30, 40 years of hardcore blood, sweat, and tears of re-entry and understand how hard it is. Anybody that's dealing with re-entry is never going to align themselves with any political party in this country because of the game that goes on.
Right.
Because what happens is that these federal prisons that are in these small towns in America, they are the fabric of those communities. Those prisons have to run for those communities to run. So they need bodies in those prisons. So you'll be an advocate one day for these law reforms, but then you'll be the same one talking about they need to lock more people up, like that mayor down in D.C.
Facts. Now, see, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, let me go to the comments, and then I got my brother Negro joining the conversation right now. Let me go to the comments real quick. Alan says, and this might be back, we might have gone too far ahead, but I want to read it anyway. Alan says, down here in Maryland, White Daddy is throwing these black female politicians under the bus left and right for about a few years now. Good shot for Allen. Hey, shout out to White Daddy rolling a mammy down the hill. I like that. I like to hear that, like Zaddy doing these mammies dirty. I like to hear shit like that. Shout out to Allen. That made it for me right there. Let me see what Mike say. Mike say, every big city in the world has bad areas. There are many good areas in big cities. You just don't hear about it on Fox News or these right-wing propaganda outlets. Now, Mike, that's a fact, Mike. Got to give Mike that one. That's a fact. Every city got some fuckery somewhere, and it's designed that way intentionally, right? So gunshot for Mike, huh? Because that's a fact, okay? And y'all know, everybody knows, you live in a particular area, your neighborhood, and you go up, right? You go by the hill or something, right? And you got the infamous big mansions over there, right? And you always got either some kind of bootleg politician living up in there, hopefully rubbing elbows and all type of bullshit. And then you go down the hill and you see destitute, fuckery, nonsense. The streets are dirty. You start moving your way up that hill, them streets get clean. Your garbage get picked up on a regular basis, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But shout out to my brother Negro. And I got another clip I'm going to play after my brother Negro take the flow and go ahead and cook a little bit. Brother Negro, you got the flow, brother. Shout out to you. Welcome to the broadcast, man. Good to see you in the building. You heard?
Yeah, I'm glad that I got to pull up and see this one, because like your imagery in the title alone had me cracking up laughing. Like I was like, yo, about time people are getting on these black women bootlickers, because they're just as equally detrimental to our community.
Right.
And what I mean is that because people think they have a coochie, that they don't deserve to smoke, or that they don't need to be addressed. And I feel like that's a beggar to differ. Like if you're acting like an enemy and behaving like an enemy towards our interests, then you should be treated like one. What gives you get a pass when you're out here allowing our black boys to go astray and our black children to go astray? Right. What gives you a pass when you're leading our children so they can be abducted, or participating at restaurants and food chains and organizations that are detrimental to our community? Like these are treasonous behavior that needs to be called out on both sexes. And it's not about a sex thing. It's a mentality thing that needs to be called out. So that's the reason why I'm glad that you're holding this conversation and really addressing some of these women. Because they really think that they're safe because they're women. Like, don't they know that Women King came out? They removed that mandate. Come on. Like they think of y'all as men right now. So like I'm thinking that they're putting themselves in harm's way, if you get what I mean. And I don't want my sisters in harm's way. So right. that's just what I want to say about that. So salute to you, brother. What up, brother Q? What up, brother? And salute to y'all as always.
Indeed. Shout out to the brother Negro, man. it's definitely necessary that we point this shit out, y'all. It's necessary that we had a conversation, we build on it, and make it make sense. Because again, you got people saying their people built some shit and they weren't even born here. Right? So let's go to Exhibit A, y'all. Again, we got to go back to your girl Joy Reid because she's down bad. All right. She was on this conversation with this dude right here. So I'm going to go ahead and play the clip for the family. And again, if you want to support the program, hit the Cash App $FTS49. If you're looking to sponsor the program, it's a $30 sponsorship. You want to co-sponsor, same thing. And anyone who goes above that $30, you will be the sole sponsor for today's broadcast. $FTS49. Let's go ahead and play this clip, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and play this clip right here.
Joy Reid has a curious claim about American history, and her curious claim is that she built the...
And real quick, fair use by the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use, learning purposes, educational purposes, fair use, y'all. Let's go ahead and play this.
Country.
To be a Black person in 2024 in America is to be in a state of complete perplexed confusion about what is wrong with a country that hates your history, to this day can't admit even the basics of what was done to your ancestors, and to find out that literally Barack Obama's 2 terms as president are your reparations, and yet you built this country. You literally physically built this country.
White boy laughing at it,
You saw
y'all.
the white boy you saw the white boy drinking that on that Kermit the Frog. I peeped the white boy, foundational white boy cracking in.
Her reference, the funniest thing is that she basically used James Baldwin's whole statements.
Right.
And then she used as her reference points President Obama, who is not considered a foundational or native Black American. And that's the irony. That's the irony or as I like to say, the caucasity, because this is a Caucasian thing. The caucasity of using this topic. She really went there. And you could have used numerous foundational or native Black Americans to use, and you could have tried to give him an example that was better than the former President Obama. Really, this is the problem with these people. And with all due respect, and I understand people that get put in position, Chef C, I'm gonna come to you with an example because I know you would know this example wholeheartedly. I have to make a 5-course meal for 20 people. I can't cover the order. I have to call you. This is the problem with people like this in media, people like this speaking for us, is that they're not equipped or well-read and they don't know how to defer. It's okay to say, I don't know. Let me make a call. Talk to some of our esteemed historians and they can explain it to you better. I've reached my peak of understanding. She could have easily said, well, according to James Baldwin, he said this, and this was during his time. Right. This was 50 years ago when James Baldwin made that statement. She could have easily said the difference between her and her country in the diaspora has been colonized. She could have easily said, in my country where I came from, we were colonized. She could have easily said that, but she didn't. She tried to use a native or foundational Black America's talking point, and then she used President Obama. And this is why the Caucasian man, he giggled in his drink. Because you can't take these people serious. You can't. They have lost touch, and they speak. And the reason why they hit home from what we think they hit home because they're speaking to a bunch of people who are not well traveled. Right. And what I mean by well traveled is not where you go all the time, but we sometimes have this shallow vision of Black people in America because we come from the hood. So she's speaking to somebody that may come from the hood. So you be like, I understand it because I've never been out of my little box. But when you've traveled and you've seen different experience, different cultures, you'll know that what she's talking is a bunch of garbage.
That's a fact.
It's a bunch of garbage.
Can I chime in on this?
Go ahead, brother Negro. Go ahead.
Yeah,
but hold on, y'all hold those thoughts real quick. I got a couple of the family in the chat right now that I got to highlight. Shout out to Frederic in the building. Gunshot for Frederic. We got another one in the building. My brother Next Level in the building. Peace to you, brother Next Level. Gunshot for Next Level. Got a couple more of the family that's in the building right now. Y'all, listen, I really appreciate everybody coming through and tapping in with us right now. Again, I got my brother Q in the building, my brother Negro in the building. If y'all haven't gone over to my brother Q, Let's Talk 2's platform, go ahead and check my brother out. You see him in the chat. Definitely go ahead and hit his avatar, hit his YouTube, go over there, subscribe to that brother. Support his work. He does a phenomenal job as well. One of the brothers from our Pat Talk movement here. Shout out to brother Q. Shout out to my brother Negro. Also has a platform on YouTube. Definitely go ahead and check him out as well. Well, I want to thank everybody that's in the chat right now for rocking with us. You know, again, I want to read a couple of chats and then we're going to go back to you, Negro, and then I go to my brother Q. Got a couple people in the chat saying right now, I got Rod. Shout out to Rod in the building. I appreciate your Rod. Gunshot for Rod in the building. I'm on my Vibes Cartel type of time today. You understand, on this Sunday. But shout out to Rod. Let's see what Rod was saying this right here, y'all. Check this out. Her name is Joy Ann Limoni. That's crazy. Her father is from Chicago. Is from the Congo, and her mother is from Guyana. So she ain't no FBA by any stretch. Gunshot for Rod. Rod on that type of time today. I see you, Rod. You understand me? Let me go to Frederic, though. Federic's trying to give us some game in here real quick. Let's go to Frederic. People choose their behavior, and we cannot blame anyone. Time to take personal responsibility for what we do. Understood, Frederic. Understood. But let's go a little more in depth what you got going on here. The only reason he's laughing is that there's no real black man standing. I'm his face to tell him the truth. Interesting. Claude, going at that wig. All right, we got the wig out here. If blonde hair isn't an indicator of a traitor, damn. Gunshot for they on Joy's head right now. We got a couple more of them by the angels to cook up, though, y'all. We got a couple more of them angels to cook up. Don't get it twisted. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Let me go back to the comments a little bit more here. We got a few more of them angels to cook up. You understand? Red Sigma, let's see what Claude said. Limited travels in Stockholm, the arrangement. Shout out to Claude. Listen, you're not here to play with them. I understand you. The chat going crazy. They on these motherfuckers' heads, man. Shout out to the chat. I see y'all here to cook.
Yes, definitely shout out to the chat. Y'all standing on black business today.
They really not here to play, man. Let me go back to the Negro. Finish what you were saying, brother Negro. We just had to acknowledge the family in the cook-up.
Okay. I'm glad that somebody brought up her heritage, all right? She's Guyanese, or her mother's Guyanese or whatever, right? She has descendants that's connected to the Gold Coast, all right? The Gold Coast are one of the major perpetuators of the slave trade, right? And when you look at their culture, specifically with their mammy and their bedwench culture, right? Like they were integrating.
Hold on,
with
Negro.
the European
Negro, run that back. What'd you say, mammy? What'd you say?
Mammy culture. I'm gonna break this down. See this mammy bedwench culture didn't start much. Like,
go ahead, man.
Yeah. I'm just tired of them throwing this mammy bedwench culture on our sisters, right? Like, yeah, we might have some sisters that did out the box, but it's their culture. They were doing it longer than we have. It was 1967. I think Tasha. It was Loving versus Virginia. That's when the interracial dating started popping off really legally. All right. They were doing this at the transatlantic slave trade. These Africans were interracially marrying, all right, including the African women. So like when they out here kissing Nick Fuentes and all that other stuff, that's a part of their culture.
Hold on, Negro. Hold on, Negro. Are you saying White Zaddy wasn't always taking coochie? She was giving it to him?
Cockabon tuning.
Yes. There's a book that I'm going to reference. It's called Daughters of the Trade. Shout out to the sister Crimson Cure who put me on with that book. I had to personally buy it because she was talking a lot of shit, right? So I was like, what's this sister talking about? Man, brother, I've been going through that book and I've been studying it. Man, this bedwench culture ain't an FBA, it ain't a Negro thing, ain't a Black American thing. It is an African thing. They want to get closer to whiteness. Like, let's really talk about this. This is the same reason why these men from these cultures come to our country looking for white women. All right, the same way when they're in the homeland, the motherland, the African women, they're looking for a white zaddy. All right, so they're both on the same bird flapping. All right, and they're looking back at us saying that, no, you're the Akata. No, y'all the Akatas. Y'all the one who's mixing up y'all lineage. Y'all the one who's out here promoting this interracial stuff a lot more heavier. When you even break it down to like all the pro athletes and all these other ones, it's these foreign brothers that's out here doing this bedwitching stuff. And nothing to deal with the average rank and file Negro on that level. And I'm just tired of them throwing that jacket on our community as they try to cosplay us. So like that's what I wanted to sound off for.
The Negro, ladies and gentlemen, let's. The Negro. Do y'all agree? In the comment section, the Negro said White Zaddy, and he's got the stats to prove it. White Zaddy, the Spaniard Zaddy wasn't always taking no coochie.
And the relationships are called as cashier. Cashier, CASSAR. That's the name of those type of unions.
Family, the narrative, the understanding for many folks is that, you know, that their ancestors were raped. I mean, excuse me, they were arred by their oppressor. Okay? And according to the Negro, a lot of them wasn't arred by their oppressor. She was doing a little something strange for some cornbread. She was doing something a little strange for the lemonade at the big house. She was just giving it up.
Brother, they thought they were a part of the big house. Like, let's just really go there about these African immigrants. They want to be on par with white people, but from a white perspective and ideology. They don't want to be in lockstep and liberate and actually be and fight for justice and equality. We have to really. This is the reason why they still got human trafficking and the slave trade on the motherland right now. Right now. So these are the same people that was human trafficking in the days of the transatlantic slave trade. Some of them are still culpable and still in this action and behavior. Look at Nigeria right now and squalor because they still engage in that type of practice. And these are the things. They're the ones who's cursed, not the Negro. Like, let's really wake this up now. Hold on. They are.
Hold on, y'all done got the Negro. Y'all done got the Negro going today. Hold on. Let me play a little bit more of this. Because now it's kind of. Hold on, Negro. I'm about to, nigga. Hold on, nigga. Now, let me give a little context for the Negro, y'all. Now, what we want to do, I'm gonna play this track because again, You got white boy in this clip here laughing at her when she said her people built this, and then he's gonna give you game. That Joy Reid, hold on, Joy, you ain't black though. Let's go ahead and play this clip.
Joy Reid's parents are immigrants. Joy Reid's father came from Congo. Joy Reid's mother came from Guyana. Joy Reid is a first-generation American. Not one single person in her family tree had any connection to slavery. Not one single person in her family tree was here more than one generation ago. Joy Reid.
Cooked. White boy cooked Joy Reid.
Hey, Chef C.
Yes, sir.
I got one statement in regard to that.
See, the black boy can't afford you no more. Used to be a decent. But called the day of the Geechee is gone, boy.
Joy Reid.
Kick that volume back up, Brother Q. You low, Brother Q. Your mic.
That's Joy Reid right there in a nutshell.
There you go. Actually, turn your mic up a touch more, Brother Q, if you can.
I said that's Joy Reid in a nutshell.
There you go. Bingo. Shout out to brother. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to hear from y'all in the chat now, because now listen, the Brother Negro, and again, y'all could check out the book. What's the book, Brother Negro, so they understand? What's the name of that book again?
Daughters of a Trade. I'm out and about right now, but it's on our the Negro Black Knights Heritage Club on our Twitter page. We call out cashiers. We call out those type of unions. These guys were marrying so they can perpetuate the slave trade, family. This is how they get down. This is how they women get down. The skullduggery of this nonsense. But yet still they want to come over to black women, say that they can't raise women, can't raise our children well. They want to be hypercritical about our women. But let's put it like this. Their women want to be slave masters. All right? Our women were Harriet Tubmans. Our women were Sojourner of Truth, fighting for righteousness for our people. I don't know what the fuck their people were doing. Like we gotta really be honest about this, and this is the reason why I go so hard about delineation and the aspects of it, because these guys are evil. To sit here and impersonate another group of people when you're the main reason why we're over here in the first place is a problem, and it needs to be called out. That's like a German cosplaying a Jewish Holocaust victim, and they act like everything's peachy and honky dory. You get where I'm going at with this?
No, listen, I understand where you're coming from. Family in the chat, man, hit the link. The community kitchen is open. If you want to rebut against what the Negro is saying, because again, this is not an echo chamber. This is here for the conversation. The link is in the chat, family. The link is in the chat. You know, you see, we not cammed up. You ain't got to cam up. You can come on your avatar. But if you feeling some type of way about what the Negro is saying, tap in. You understand? The community kitchen is open for you to cook up. Just you're not gonna be able to burn down the restaurant though. We only cook 5-star meals in here. So if your shit is trash, I throw you out. You understand? Shout out to we're gonna go to the comments real quick, and then I'm gonna go back to my brother Q. But that is some crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It is. Listen, you're gonna, unfortunately, and here's the part of this. Y'all may not agree. I actually don't give a fuck about people agreeing with me. You're gonna understand and find out that hey, a lot of the people who enslaved you it's a lot of this slavery started in Africa. Okay. And then some were enslaved over here in the United States. Many of us all didn't come necessarily on the boat either. Some did, some did not. Right? But you're going to also find out that the major people who are in these positions, this is particularly why we call this episode Biden's Angels, are those very black looking folks who are put in those positions to oversee us, to prevent us from getting anything that moves us forward collectively. This is intentional, right? And this is why every year you get at least 4 to 5 first black, whatever the fuck it is. That's how they keep you calm. That's how they keep you from saying, hold up, this shit is lopsided. They gotta roll out a first black something for you. Just like they weaponized the Bible to calm the warrior spirits down in a lot of folks and telling you to turn your cheek and all this other stuff. Shout out to everybody that's tapping in. Subscribe. They are now using these black faces in quote unquote high places to keep you calm, to say, hey, it's not so lopsided like you think it is. Look at her. Look at him. Right? If I'm cooking, throw me a saute pan or a fried egg in the chat.
Brother Chef, it's melanated faces. We're black. They're melanated. We got to delineate. I'm going to go hard, man. I'm sorry to go hard on this, but this really grinds my gears. And trust me, I'm going to come after them. I'm in the business of coming after them because they're stealing money, resources, political capital, social capital from our community, only to squander and make us look like fools on in the global community sense of things. And I'm tired of us looking like a fool in the global community because we're no fools. We invented everything that they sit on in American soil to this day, but yet still we're the fools. You go to our universities, you're gonna have African takeover day, but we're the fools. Nah. We're gonna have a reckoning with these. It's chin checking season.
Let him cook
Africans
now.
And all these tethers. That's why I'm so upset about this, Brother Chef. This really grinds my gears because I look at everything that's stolen from us, and they know the predicament that we're in, and they continually to steal from us and think that we're going to be cool with this.
Easy on them, Negro. Easy. The Negro done tapped into the conversation, y'all. If y'all feeling, again, the link is in the chat. If you disagree with the Negro, come up in here and let them know how you feeling, because the Negro is standing 10 toes down right now. Let me go to the comment section real quick because we got a lot of comments came through, family. I was, you see me over here trying to navigate it. But nonetheless, shout out to Claude. Claude said they're cowards. Bunch of cowards coming through. Shout out to my sister Earth Angel. Earth Angel says, I'm loving this truth. It's that Negro. And shout out to my brother Q. I mean, it's a different cook up today. We got over 100 people tapped into the broadcast from the various platforms right now. Salute to all of y'all. You understand? If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. Subscribe. Over 100 people, well, almost 100 people in this broadcast right now. All right, share this out to your family as well. We in here cooking today. All right, let's keep on going. Curious Child says, this is one right here for you two fellas. Curious Child says, okay, so as far as African women in those Latino countries, it was either consensual or coupionage. I maybe read that wrong. A nigga could be slow sometime, but yeah, I mean, listen, not even just the African countries though. Curious Child, I would say here in the United States. See, I want to let's get rid of the nonsense that Black Americans weren't already here. Okay, this is a narrative that is being spread all throughout the country that there weren't people here before that raggedy, nasty, disease-driven Columbus came through talking about he discovered some shit. Fuck out of here. Okay, we were already here. Okay. We're going to have to make sure that that's made clear. Shout out to 101 that's up in the building right now. Share this thing out. Real conversation happening. Okay. But even the ones that were here, ladies and gentlemen, they was giving that coochie up too. Huh? The Negro just read it off. The book is in the chat for y'all. Drop it in there one more time for me, brother Negro. I'm gonna pin that book so people can go ahead and read for themselves. We like to give y'all a little bit of, we like to give you some context so you can go ahead and do your own homework, right?
Yeah, the book is called Daughters of a Trade, and make sure you visit my girl, Crimson Cure. She talks about Black relationships. She talks about all those things. I got it from her. I got it from a Chicago, and she a Muslim young lady. She was out here giving the truth about what's going on here and why we need to be delineating without her going out putting it all on Front Street like that.
Right.
Get that book today. She is a foundational Black American woman. I might not agree with all her ideologies, but that's where I got my sources from. That's where I'm citing exactly where I got it from. Right. Because soon she mentions Daughters of a Trade and this bedwench culture and where it originated from. Yeah, I really was curious. Like I was like, this is something that we didn't. This is like Black American people. We don't marry white folks like that on that level. All right, it's these foreigners. But yet still
hold on, Negro. Let me listen. We're gonna need a little stat from that, sir. Are you sure Black American women aren't marrying Zadie and Enrique like that? Are you sure?
I just pulled up home. I just pulled up home.
Send me a stat.
Let me pull up home. Let me pull up home. I just pulled up like 2 seconds just because of the detail of the conversation. I'm gonna run and grab the stat. And I'm going to grab a couple of quotes specifically from that book. So you can understand the reasons why I have this type of position against women that are outside of diaspora, outside of our lineage. And the way that they cosplay our sisters, they get our brothers caught up in the twist and the jam when they're out here cosplaying our sisters. And then they out here throwing jackets on our brothers. Like the Cardi B's of the world. All right. Out here saying this denigrating things about Black women, but they're out here perpetuating negativity on our Black men. So give me at least 4 or 5 minutes so I can run in the house real quick.
Do your thing. I'm going through the comments
so I can cook.
Yeah. Keep you know, do your thing. Let me go through the comments. We got Jabbar Tariq in here now. Tariq says, "I am not here to defend Joy Reid." Okay. Not here to defend Joy Reid, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me put the image back up there. He said he's not here. Not here to defend this one, guys. Okay? But we can go back to the barbarian pirates where Black men created a whole new phenotype in North Africa with white female slaves. What's your perspective on that, Brother Q?
I agree with him in a sense. You know, a lot of things, like I sort of noticed somebody in the chat had mentioned slavery and colonization and how the difference was, and how North Atlantic slave trade was different than other slavery in other countries.
Right.
Yes, we're talking about symptoms of the disease, though, and this is the topic of the conversation of why these are Biden's angels.
Right.
It's a disease that a lot of times when people that's not from the people that are from the diaspora and not from the lineage, as Negro had pointed out, what they do is they don't know the law of the land. And knowing the law of the land is like when Chef C eloquently put in his live the other day, you guys, when you go somewhere, you have to check in. And what we mean by check in is you got to know how to move about. And a lot of times with some of the people from the diaspora, when they come to America, is they actually start assimilating to the oppressive regime before they figure out, okay, these are Black Americans, Native Black Americans. Let me figure out, I know of their history a little bit. Let me figure out how to move around like them.
Right.
Let me move like them so I know how to move in those spaces and how to navigate. They don't particularly do that as a whole. What they do as a whole is they start getting these positions and they start shitting on Black people. I know for a fact when you come through customs, they'll tell you, leave the Black people alone if you're coming from another country. If you're
That's a
from North
fact.
Africa, they'll tell you that. If you're from West Africa, they tell you that. East Africa, they tell you that. Don't deal with the Black Americans. We're not on the brochure. Us in the hood, they don't show the inner cities of inner cities of Detroit in the brochure when they say come to America. They show the urban America of the, the nuclear family, or they may even show some weird stuff nowadays, and we're not gonna get into that, but
Right.
they're gonna show the picket fence, the 2.5 children, and say this is the American dream. Well, that American dream has been a nightmare for Native Black Americans.
Hold on. The nightmare coming true. That's a fact.
So we need to understand that when Negro or anybody gives us history, it's an indictment on why they are the way they are, not as a whole. But you got to know why you're sick sometimes.
I put up the data. In the back channel for you, brother Chef.
And you got to know why you're conditioned to do certain things that you do. But when we call you out, and the brother's right, yeah, Joy Reid is a symptom of her problem. But continuously to get on the forum that she got on, as the brother put the tape up, and sit there and say a bunch of condescending stuff, and then he knew her history. She did not have any knowledge of self. Because she was placed there. She was selected to be a face for us or a speaking voice for us, instead of her doing it in solidarity, saying, well, the Native Black Americans deserve reparations, all they went through from the slave trade, Jim Crow, redlining. She didn't do that. She tried to say us. It's not us. It's not us. That's all I can say right now about that. But continue talking about Biden's angels.
No,
I got the data real quick, and I sent you one about the about Black men in relationships and Black women and the breakdown of that. That's from blackdemographics.com. Shout out to them. I sent that to you in the back channel for you.
I see you, Negro.
Yeah. Then now I'm gonna hit you with the data, direct quotes from the book, and the reasons why I have a strong position in saying, like, fuck this woman. She doesn't need to be speaking on our shit. And these guys are evil. And these guys want to be like the African. The African is always projecting on the Negro. They always say that we're trying to be like Zad, that we're trying to be like white people. No, it's them. It's them. And I'm going to read this quote to support the reason why. Entangled as they were in both of the local history of the slave trading towns of West Africa and the larger history of European colonial system. The cashier marriages of Oshun functioned as a loaded transfer point of power. Not only were they marriage produced by culture encounters between European and Africans in the Atlantic world, they spontaneously participated in the production of a new hybrid culture, new meaning, new people, new practices. Both daily practices in the Atlantic structured meanings shaped and produced of this culture as people negotiated Atlantic power relations in their daily lives. And their practices means they turned and helped shape the larger Atlantic structures. Diplomatic and intimate negotiations in and around the cashier marriage brought the local and the Atlantic into a powerful encounter. So in other words, these people help perpetuate that shit. These people are that shit, and they want to be like them. We never were like them. That's why they put us on the boats and they moved us off. So the audacity of this woman to speak on our justice claim the way she does, this is the reason why there's a delineation movement. This is the reason why you want there's people in our community saying that they need to go. Instead of the Garvey must go campaign, it's the Fleers must go campaign. We want you all the hell up out of the paint. All right? Because you're an enemy, not just to the country, to the Negro and the people and the descendants that made America really great, made America what it truly is. Their mission is to dismantle us so that we'll never achieve that. So that's what I wanted to. I had to run into my house real quick because my OG needed me to take him to a quick ride real quick. But I wanted to make sure I pulled into the house real quick to hit y'all with some facts of the reasons why I have the position that I have in the book that I'm referencing from, so you guys know, get the ammunition when you get into these classrooms, and don't let these tethers to speak for you. Never let another man or woman speak for your people. Never.
Y'all, ladies and gentlemen, y'all done got the Negro started. Listen, let's be very clear. Disclaimer out here right now. The thoughts and comments are of their own people. It is not the consensus of mine, just to be very clear. Everybody standing on their own 10. I have my perspective. Brother Q has his. My brother Negro has his. Anybody that has anything to say against any of those talking points for those individuals, the link is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, for you to tap in. And with that being said, shout out to my brother Negro. But I got my brother Coke Sharpton in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Gunshot for Coke. Coke Sharpton, what's on your mind, brother?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear, brother Coke. You live.
If anybody see Tawana Brawley, tell her she owe me $5 still.
Facts.
I wanted to just push Black a little bit. I'm here to take the stage. I wanted to push Black a little bit on Jabal Tariq statement. I'm here for that dialogue. It says,
okay, Jabal, if you still in the chat, hold on. Let me bring up his comment. Jabal.
I got the comment right here.
I got you. I got you covered. Go ahead, Colt.
Hey, can I ask a question real quick, Colt?
Yes, sir.
Are you a representative of Reverend Al right now? Before or after the tapes?
That's Brother Bag's ex-cousin right there. That's Brother Bag's ex-cousin.
I'm just digging with him.
This is Cocaine Cowboy Al. We wearing wires up in hotel rooms with Italians. And we still wearing tracksuits, man.
Thank you. That's exactly who I wanted to hear. The brother who's like he said, still looking for Tawana Brawley.
Yeah, she still owe me that $5, man. I'm
real quick, and then you got the kitchen, brother Coke. Shout out to the over 106 people tapped in from the various platforms. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Y'all share, y'all like, y'all subscribe to this. Shout out to everybody. And again, if you got something, you're feeling some type of way about what anybody's saying on this platform, the link is in the chat. Stand 10 toes down on how you're feeling. Don't light my comment section up. Come in here and light it up in the kitchen. You got the opportunity to cook. Coke, you got the floor.
All right. So we got y'all. So the good fella Jabal said, and I quote, "I'm not here to defend Joy Reid. Typically when somebody say that means they're about to, but I digress. But we can go back to the Barbary pirates where black men created a whole new phenotype in North Africa with white female slaves. Now, I got to say, I stand like even with Q that is truth to that, and water is also wet, because the reason why I'm phrasing it that way is that if you look at the lineage of that whole situation there, yes, that did happen, but then you start falling into what the dominant society says with, well, slavery was everywhere. We have a specific, and to be clear, I'm Black American, as sweet potato pie in Haleburg, Alabama, as Black American as that. Now, we have a specific lineage to a particular section of the Atlantic slave trade, not even the whole thing, not even 90% of it. You understand me? So that sounds hot. There was also slaves that happened up in Egypt. What happened to all those Egyptians? And oh, that's right. They got their phallics cut off, so they couldn't reproduce. So none of them are over here, and that's why all of them look like that over there. But when you get to this Atlantic slave trade and all of that, I put a link in the chat. If you can bring up, at least the imagery of that. And the imagery that we're going to bring up here, we're going to wake this up real nice and good. They're called the Signares, Signare. That could be, I could be off on that. That smell like a French word. But Signares, we would call them mulattoes. They call them mulattas over there. When you look at these islands where you got Obama going back and putting themselves back in chains, Don Lemonhead mothers and shit, everybody crying all over slave shackles, you start realizing these places were actually castles. And it wasn't just always the slaves and the branding and the shackles and all of that. How that really popped off, they had this class of women there, and these women were in high power too as well. They ranged from everything from mulattoes all the way up to actual whole Africans. And we're talking specifically Senegalese, Jollof Kingdom, all of that. They would have soirees, if you will. Imagine soirees with women just walking around, titties out, all of that. European men, as I said, they threw themselves at them. I just want to go through this real quick. If you just give me a minute to just read through this. And it says here, the Seigneurs were black and mulatto Senegalese women who had an influence via their marriage with European men and their patrimony. These women of color managed to gain some individual asset status and power and hierarchies of the Atlantic slave trade, not Barber pirates, not Munich Egyptians with no penises, the Atlantic slave trade. There was a Portuguese equivalent referred to as Nara, a name for Luso-African businesswomen who played an important part as business agents through their connections with both Portuguese and African populations. There was also an English language equivalent of women of mixed African and British or American descent with the same position, such as Betsy Heard, Mary Faber, Elizabeth Fraser. Oh, they dropping names. So what was their social and economic role? The Seigneurs commonly had power and networks of trade and wealth within the limitations of slavery. The influence held by these women led to changes in gender roles in the family structure archetype. There goes your strong black or African woman. I ain't gonna say black Negro. Some crown masters.
Hold on, Coke. Ooh, y'all see what he putting out? Change in gender roles, right?
We talking 1700s.
Now when we talk about the Biden's angels, let's go. Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna give you this. Any of these women coming out speaking up against all of this other wild shit that they pushing on us, on our community? Any of these women? No. But go ahead, brother. Go ahead, Coke.
Yeah. So, and what's interesting about it is that these women led changes in gender roles in the family structure archetype. We're talking 1700s here, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? We talking like what's that spice that's getting the European men over there to even be interested in purchasing Africans, let alone purchase it. And by the time they get here and realize it's more black folk over here. Yeah, don't get it twisted. And so it says here, some own masses of land as well as slaves. We talking about these African and mulatto women, y'all, these seigneurs, these powerful women in high positions, but held up by the Europeans. European merchants and traders, especially the French and the British, would settle on coastal societies inhabited by seigneurs in order to benefit from the increased proximity to the sources of African commerce. The earliest of these merchants were the Portuguese and were given the name Lancados because they, quote, threw themselves, end quote, among Africans and would establish relationships with the most influential seigneurs who would accept them in order to obtain commercial privileges. The Portuguese referred to these women as Nara, and the earliest name example was from the 17th century. This is 1600s, y'all. The seigneurs' reputation for wealth became well known, exemplified in an account from Prenou de Pompondier, a French explorer who had been living in West Africa for 22 years until 1765. So America wasn't even America yet. He wrote in his account that the women on the island called St. Louis is the name of this island where they popped all of it. St. Louis. The women on the island of St. Louis are, in general, closely associated with white men and care for them when they are sick in a manner that could not be bettered. The majority lived in considerable affluence, and many African women owned 30 to 40 slaves, which they hired to the company. Many seigneurs were under common law that was recognized by priests of the Catholic faith. These marriages were for economic and social reasons. Both seigneurs and their husbands gained from these partnerships. Europeans passed their names down to the offspring, and with it, their lineage of these seigneurs when they married them. Now this what Joy. I hope Joy Reid got their ears open, because this is where I alley-oop to Negro and what Negro been really stomping on. When some of these seigneurs became too powerful, there it is. Leaders like the Portuguese crown sought ways to remove the women from their wealth. Different crimes that the Portuguese crown sought to accuse the women of were crimes against the state or crimes against Christianity. An example was with Franca. She was a prominent seigneur who over the years accumulated a lot of wealth and slaves. After realizing how powerful she was, the crown wanted to find a way to dismantle her influence and power. That's what's happening with these folk over here. That's why these bad witches why you surprised when White Zaddy pulled the rug from under you?
Hold on, Coach Sharpton. Hold on. God damn. Is the first and foremost, before we go back to the Cope, and I'm gonna bring the Negro back in the building, the Negro. Before I go back to Coke, is the mathing a touch for you in the chat? In the chat, is the mathing? Because we're talking about origins of this kind of philosophy now. Now he going back to the very inception of this framework, this thought process, y'all. Right? To why these women are always then positioned over us and then speak for us. Right? That ideology, it starts from somewhere. These aren't old practices, ultimately, what I'm saying to y'all. This ain't no, well, I'm not saying these aren't new practices. This ain't new shit. This is what they've always done. They just remix it. Right? If y'all, like, and I don't want to digress too much, but y'all, if you think about it, remember, fucking Adolf Hitler came to the United States to learn how to put the small hats in slavery and chains and different things like that to gas them. He learned some of his tactics from what the United States was doing to Black Americans. And he took it back over there and did whatever he had to do with the small hats. So again, you know, when you start thinking about, man, it's just a lot of information that isn't disclosed, because if you don't know your past, you can't predict or understand your future, let alone the present, right? And when we talk about these Biden angels, y'all, again, why are there always a bunch of new different faces put in a position, and then they get all this media blasting, right? Media blast them all over the place. Oh, look at this. The face of Black, right? Why is I forgot Tamika Mallory? She should have been put up here too. But again, y'all, these faces, they're put out there and say, hey, your daughter can aspire to be just like them. Most of these chicks are swirling. Most of these females are swirling. Backdoor pass around daddy worshiping heifers. Yeah, I said that. Okay, let me go back to Coke though. Coke.
Yeah, let me wrap this up for y'all.
Coke.
I'm, I don't want to overcook this meal, but I got I got a couple of more ingredients I want to add to here, and we can circle this right all the way around.
Yes,
now,
sir.
see, the thing is, when they put them in power, they would just easily take them out of power by doing so. What did it say here? It said that they'd accuse them of rebellion, trading with foreigners and tax evasion. They be in prison. So salute to Fonnie Willis right now. That just as soon as you get it, they try to take it away from you. That stuff sounds so familiar. Now, what's interesting here is they said that this is how these European men talked about these women here. They said that the Wolof women, the Signiers out there on that gory island, which they told us our ancestors come out of, but it seems like they was eyes wide shutting out there, the Black edition. It says they far surpassed the European women in every respect. He compared their, quote, loose, light, easy robe to that of the female Grecian statues attire. So because they would walk around the islands butt ass naked in all of these parties and all of this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm leaning on this marital practice. And you asked the question, Chef, about how do they get just propped up and they just okay with all of this, even down to the degradation. These marital practices, and be clear, y'all, these are the predecessors to the the Caribbean bed wenches, let alone the bed wenches in America. The marital practices between African women and European men, that shit sound crazy to me. Negro said what? Loving versus State of Virginia, 1967, huh? We going back to 1700 with the marriages between African women and European men were governed by local law. Since that, many European men would not stay on Gorée Island permanently. Marriages were often in a state of flux. If a European man left Gorée Island and intended to return, the African woman would wait for him. When the man got on the boat to go back to Europe, seigneurs would scoop up the sands where his last footprints were and put it in a handkerchief, which they would hang on their bedpost until he returned. Seigneurs will often wait years without remarrying for their European white man to return. If a European man left without planning to return, or if a seigneur learned that her European husband was not going to return to Gorée Island, that same island that they have the shackles on, women would remarry. That was not considered shameful, Chef, in any way. And seigneurs would not lose any of their social status and will often return much of the trading power that they had gained through their prior marital European status. They remarried seigneurs will often raise their children from their European husbands alongside their new African husbands. And those children will receive the inheritance from their mothers, not their fathers. I rest my cutting board.
Listen here. Brother Q, I'm gonna go listen. I'm a marinate. But again, brother Coke Sharpton, some are saying, well, what the hell does this got to do with Biden's angels, Brother Coke?
Okay, what this has to do with Biden's angels is where did the mindset come from in the first damn place? Because clearly it's being imported here. If you don't think some of them seigneurs
walk that talk,
if you don't think some of them seigneurs didn't hop on the boat with their husbands and their slaves and hot-tail it to Cuba, to the Caribbean, to Jamaica, to Trinidad, and all of a sudden they up here in front of you on your TV 150 years later.
Right.
I must say, Coke Sharpton came through with the wheel kick.
Yeah, Coach Sharpton.
Make no mistake, family, and I want to just give a shout out to everyone in the chat. You guys make the broadcast. You guys make all of us content creators, social engineers, brothers to you and all, step our game up. Coke Sharpton came through. He came, he saw, and he conquered.
Listen, Hannibal in the chat says Coke dropped a flex bomb, paraphrasing Hannibal. Listen,
And you gotta realize,
Hey, Chef, hold on, real quick. If we don't even want to talk on the bed winch angle, because I mean, collecting your white man sand and putting it on your bedpost while you winching, if that don't, well, listen, Goree Island. Look up Goree Island, because that bullshit that they tell us that all black people's ancestors done came from some ship off of Goree Island. Don Lemon had bought his mama there to cry on some shackles. What does it have to do with black Americans? That's my question. That's the irony. That's my question. What the fuck does that have to do with black Americans? And this shit keep getting imported here.
We are a specific ethnicity. This is what the brother is trying to explain and has been explaining.
Spin that back one more time, Q, from the beginning.
We are a specific ethnicity.
Come on.
That's just who we are. Coke, a Coke Sharpton, Brother Chef had mentioned your protege, Tiffany, Tamika Mallory. Would you like to give some comments on Miss Mallory and what her tethering that she does?
She still owe me on the Cadillac car note. If you see her, tell her I'm trying to holler. I need that deposit back for the Escalade.
This nigga Coke. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, again, for those of you who don't understand, yeah, we're gonna mix some nigga shit with some real shit, and the real root, we're talking about the rooter to the tutor, Black America and alike. The rooter to the tutor, if you want to understand the mindset with which these Biden angels, ladies and gentlemen, have, you got to go back to the beginning. You got to go back to the beginning. And what Coke Sharpton just gave you, ladies and gentlemen, is the origin story of a particular mindset and why these women are positioned to be the mouthpieces for you.
Okay. Chef C, I have a video clip from our brother.
Let's share it, brother. Give it to me. Pause.
What have you done?
Hey, you know what, Chef C? As I'm looking at this,
if there's no answer, the only thing we owe them is an ass whooping. No respect, no deference. I don't care if you're a boomer. I don't care if you're in the generation before the boomers. I mean, you can't die fast enough. I would like for all the traitors
Brother Short doing what he does as usual.
Dr. Short talk, man.
Brother Short doing what he does as usual, talking that talk. Ladies and gentlemen, the brother Dr. Short in the building talking that talk. Let me find out where the brother is, but I got a gunshot for that brother, Dr. Short. Okay.
Hey, brother Chef, would you mind putting up that Negro is right, that great artwork that we got for the thumbnail for this broadcast here?
This one here, the angels.
Yeah, with the angels. So if you look at Joy Reid, right? What did they say? Her lineage was from Guyana, all of that stuff. You understand what I'm saying? How do I know that she ain't a Sinieri? Well, if I look at Ketanji Brown, I know she collecting those white sands of her white daddy's feet and putting it by her bedpost every single night. Will you look over here at Fannie Willis? That's what next up in line right there. That's a perfect example of how you can just be out there flat backing and just think that I'm still gonna have my societal power, though.
Right.
You understand me?
Listen.
And
Hold
not
on.
to mention Kamala Harris. We ain't even gonna go in on the Jamaican coolies. Y'all already know that. If you ain't done the lineage on the Jamaican coolies, and you think hearing Jamaican that people just assume black. You need to dig into that line a little bit. It might be more coolie than high.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, man. Like, share, subscribe. Over 117 of y'all between the platforms in here tapped in. With a salute to all of y'all that is tapped in. And if you're here for the first time, holla at me in the chat. Let me know where you're tapping in from. But ladies and gentlemen, again, this is on their next podcast for Pat Talk number 15, Angry Black Man's Book Club. My brother Dr. Short is a little under weather. I just got a message from him. So we will have to bust it open, pause a little bit later with my brother Dr. Short, probably for a spin back. But ladies and gentlemen, now 120 of y'all in the building Still fire. Salute to everybody that's in here for the cook up. But again, real shit with nigga shit. And what you are finding out again, what we just provided you with is context, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, all the ha ha and he, that stuff is funny. But again, when we're talking about a detrimental mindset that is positioned, pedestalized, elevated above you to keep you from any form of reparative justice, we got to take a second look at it. Right? This is why I put the thumbnail the way I put the thumbnail. We got to take a second look at this, y'all. We got to take a second look at it.
Hey, brother Chef, can I comment on to all that?
Yes, sir. You got it, brother Negro.
I'm going to sum it up for all the Biden angels and the reason why they have that cashier mindset, that Jezebel spirit in them. To sum it up is that they're agents.
Say that again, Negro. Turn your volume up, Negro.
What spirit?
Okay. That Jezebel spirit, that cashier spirit. I'm going to break it down with you. They're willing to be agents of white men to harm our community as a totality. That's what makes them Biden's angels. That's what puts them in a relationship with white men. Not because they're out here marrying these guys. They're out here doing the bidding for these guys. And that's what the practice of the cashier culture is about. These women, these white guys could not go in the continent of Africa and go into those tribe meetings. But they put those women involved to undermine what black men were doing, those African men were doing. My bad, melanated men. Gotta delineate. But they did that to undermine these melanated men. So this is a custom practice and behavior that is perpetuated by white degeneracy and white supremacy. They perpetuate this behavior. They reward this behavior. All right. So they know what type of women that they're getting across this border and who they're interacting with and how they're toxic to our community. See, these are the same women that go up and interact with our brothers on the college campus, and they have some negative things. These are Tiana Burks of the world. These are those type of women. All right. You got to throw her on the list too. See, those are those type of women where we're telling them that there's an issue with Zaddy, that they don't want to confront that. They want to be the handmaiden woman for that behavior, and that's the problem. That's the thing that we need to be highlighting and say that this is a cultural behavior that is counter towards the interests of black people. This behavior is destabilizing our community. Facts. Like let's be really real about this. This is the reason why we have the issues with the women in our community, because they're mimicking this shit right here. They're mimicking this crap right here. So it's just something for us to think about. And the reason why we do have Pat Talk is the reason why young brothers like us and Dr. Short and others are all in this space fighting on behalf of our people, because these women that you got right there, these women are willing to tank Black America. They're willing to uphold white America, but they'll tank Black America in the process. That's the problem.
Smoking like a real Negro. Salute to him. Gunshot for the Negro. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very interesting conversation thus far. Now, we got your girl Fanny, okay? And I saw a lot of Negroes running around. A lot of Negroes talking about, you go, girl. You go, Fanny.
Yes, Queen, push through.
Right, push.
That's that faggot talk. But if there was black men,
you did that. You did that bullshit. Okay? And folks is running around here booty clapping and cheek slapping off of Fanny being a raggedy loudmouth in the courtroom. That's what we gonna say. Came out with the pullover dress on the first day. Came out with the pullover dress, and nobody had
pantyhose.
No, not even ironed. The shit wasn't even ironed. Okay, the shit wasn't even ironed. But y'all out here clapping, yeah, sis, you about to get Trump. You about to get him. Man, get the hell. Listen, bro. If that had been anybody else, if it was Buquisha in that courtroom, y'all would have had all type of negative shit to say. If Buquisha,
it was Buquisha.
talk that talk, Negro. Buquisha was in the courtroom. You understand? Yeah, but this is my thing, brother Negro. Like, again, when we look at shit like this, the conversation must go where it has to go. People got to get uncomfortable. Fanny coming out talking about it is a lie. It is a lie. And niggas was clapping like that was some fly shit. While you out here paying for pipe. What's the difference? What's the difference from Fanny paying for pipe and the passport bros? Somebody help me understand this. What's the difference from Fanny paying for pipe and passport bros?
Well, I'll give you the difference, Chef C. The difference is that she got herself a lemon. Moving on goofy time. Hey, listen, man. Any woman that throw you under the bus with your prostate. See, it slid through a lot of people's desks when she said, "Well, how could we have sex? I mean, because of his prostate and some difficulties, he can't even really get it up like that."
And respect to the and like Coke Sharpton just said, respect to the sisters. If you listen to what Fanny was saying, is that she really wanted to get dick down.
Q in the building, gunshot for Q.
He really wanted to get dick down. And his dick wasn't dicking.
I think it was. I think it was. Wait, family. I think it was. I think she just wanted to blame black men.
No. She got busted for lame dick.
Oh no.
She got busted for lame dick. This is why when the judge came out with his ruling, she was so quick to give him up. Like, nah, bro, you got to go. Because think about it. She put a traffic prosecutor on a big case. Why? Because she was trying to elevate. She was trying to compensate for the weak dick she was getting and said, let me try to help. Let me throw the dog a bone.
Hey, real quick, gentlemen. Shout out to Hannibal in the chat. $620K for his pipe. City Boys is up for eternity. Go shout for Hannibal. High price limp dick action going on. Pause. This what y'all paying for in 2024, ladies? 620K for a limp jiggle. Down bad, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the comments real quick, though. Let me see what the family is saying.
Busted pipes.
Let me see what. Let me scroll up.
Pipes and pressure, huh?
We missed a few comments. Let me go all the way back as far up as I can. Claude says these chameleon strike breakers are trying to steal our equity and legacy. Just shameful. That's a fact. Shout out to Claude. Let me go to Farrell. Farrell, let's see if we can have this understanding. Farrell, it's just not those women alone. It's the whole gatekeeping community, your black fraternities and sororities, etc. They are the ones that fought hard for integration to get closer to the oppressor. Let me go and shot for Pharaoh with
Hey, Chef C, Master Chef C. Let's simmer that one for a tick.
Yes,
what he waking up? What Pharaoh's waking up right there is if you bringing it back to folk do your lineage. If you bring it back to even before them Signaires, now he on that Greco-Roman type. Salute to that Pan demon that keep dying, seem to be the only god that dies. Pharaoh waking up that Pan demon. We talking Pan Hellenic, the skiwees and shit. You feel me? From Pan Hellenic to Pan Africanism, it all goes to that Pan demon, man. If y'all don't understand that Pan demon, you really then you probably still showing your kids Peter Pan. You don't understand what that flute really mean in them tights. Yeah.
That's a fact. Shout out to the over 120 plus people tapped in with us right now on this afternoon. Salute to all of y'all. Make sure you like, share, subscribe.
Hey, Chef C, and I like to give a shout out to you, the executive chef, who I like to give a shout out to, Negro, who I would say was the sous chef for the day. I was the pantry chef, and Sharpton was the pastry chef. He came in with it sweet and hot. You guys in the chat, you guys have been a pleasure. You guys are awesome. You guys made the broadcast, and as Chef C said, you guys allow us to cook. So appreciate you guys.
I wanted to add on. I wanted to add on something about the difference between Fanny and these other women. At least Fanny was she was messing with a black man from the lineage, right? So I'll give her that. Maybe I'll give her that as a little slide. You mess with the brother man from the lineage. You got him breaded up. You got him city boyed up. So I'm not gonna throw too many darts at you, but you know you're wrong, sister. You know you're wrong for going after Trump the way that you're going after.
Hold
you got a lot of dirt in that closet.
On, Negro. Are you saying Fanny was on code for paying for pipe?
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna say she's on code as of. I'm gonna just say that I might turn a blind eye. I'm not putting the charges on her for that. I'm putting on the charges on her for going after Trump with a dirty background that could be weaponized against her. That's where I'm more or less having that conversation about. I don't care about what she's doing, and salute that she's messing with a black man, quote unquote. So salute to her on that, maybe. But you didn't have to go at the black man like that and say that he ain't performing right and put that on record now, sweetheart.
Yeah,
you didn't have to do that.
That's half on code. That's a quarter code. That's quarter code. Like, listen, you can't. That's a quarter cup of.
She got a chicken wing. She got a chicken wing hold.
You listen. I would rather her do me dirty, right, in public instead of saying that shit about me in public. Don't listen. Don't say I can't swing for the fences because I got issues in public, but then talk about you can't do a black man like that. Lady, you killed him. You stabbed him. I mean, you deleted the dude, as they say on YouTube streets and
She
shit
was
like that.
A Chef C, she's upset, and rightfully so. She was not getting what she paid for.
The reason
why she is part of Biden's angels, make no mistake, Fanny put her personal business in harm's way to do Biden's bidding as his angel. And this is what we talk about when we have Pat Talk, where sometimes you have to allow other people to do your shooting. Like Brother Negro said, we just giving her some lashes, and we ain't kicking her out because she's from the lineage. But she got to understand that this codified behavior that people talk about, you can't be on code 1 minute and then be off code the next. You can't do it, and we're gonna call you out upon it, like you would have called us out upon it.
That's a fact.
Fanny been doing a lot of stuff, locking up them teachers down there in Atlanta. Now, we don't get me started on her. Fanny been doing a lot of off-code behavior. Atlanta runs around like it's the daggone Wakanda.
We almost let this raggedy heifer get by. Hold on, locking folks up. Yeah.
You think I'm doing anything for black?
Locking up the mamas too.
No.
Locking up the family members and all of locking up your moms, particularly y'all. Biden's angel hard at work. Biden's angels are hard at work. Gunshots.
The craziest thing is they sounded like a Republican, right? And what I mean is that they say that they care about the paternal. Didn't Kamala Harris say that she cares about paternal health of black women? But she's out here locking their asses up when they get the rightful age. Like, which one is it, Kamala Harris? Like, come on.
A Negro. She made a historic visit as the first sitting vice president this week to visit Planned Parenthood.
Run that back, Q.
She made a historic visit as the first sitting vice president to visit Planned Parenthood.
Get her up out of the way.
And we're not talking about all the prenatal care, all the stuff, but when you look at the origin of Planned Parenthood and how Planned Parenthood facilities are purposely placed in our urban, or what we would say black communities, and how it is encouraged for women not to have pregnancies.
Understand that that's part of why
I don't want to use that word. How her visit and co-signs the original aspect of Planned Parenthood.
Listen.
See, that foundation is corrupt. But that's Sister Kamala, Chucks and pearls.
Right. Oh, she ain't no sister. She's just melanated. See, I'm just everything that's bad. Everything that's bad, I'm gonna just say it's melanin.
Good shot. Listen, hold on, y'all. Listen, let's bring it back real quick. Again, your Biden's angels have been very hard at work, y'all. But they, again, because the things that we have asked for, unfortunately, as a collective of Black American people, okay, we asked for these black faces in high places. And they say, you know what? We'll give you that. These black looking faces in high places. And then they turn right around and say this. Let's go ahead to the clip. Fair use.
Do you support reparations for Black people?
Well, listen. Again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects.
Hold on, family. Hold on. Have y'all ever noticed how quickly she brings up these bullshit stats? Right? 60% of this, 10 out of 8 families this. Have you ever noticed how these Biden's angels are great with these fake ass stats that's supposed to be some kind of reflection of progress for us, and it never leads to anything? Okay.
Well, Chef C, if you notice in your image, your beautiful thumbnail image, you see the ghost of the transparent man Biden behind him. And isn't it a coincidence that he claims just recently, what was it, last week? What did he say? Black wealth is up 60% since he's been in office. Interesting.
Biden doing the Dougie behind his horse. Look at the Dougie.
It makes me wonder, did he tap in with Dr. Claude Anderson or Dr. Darity for those statistics? Why should we what makes you think that he has our back with those data? Like, I hate when they disrespect our Black economists and they throw up these bootlickers like Thomas Sowell, who is like the guardian of reparations, allegedly, for what I heard, telling us to pull it up by our bootstrap. See, that's the intellectuals they want. The intellectually brain dead ones that they like to stamp a doctorate's degree upon. That's the ones that they like.
The Negro pulled up Sewell on y'all. Gunshot for Sewell. Get him out of there. Shout out to 129 of y'all tapped in with us right now. Heavy. That's what I like. We appreciate the support, y'all. For real. For real, for real, for real, man. Make sure y'all share this to y'all family. We in here just getting a Sunday afternoon cook up. You understand? Let's play a little bit more, though. Again, Biden's angels are on the menu for today, ladies and gentlemen.
Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
Hey, get her out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get going. Shot for the hole. Again, for all the vote blues, no matter whose. Did y'all forget what this raggedy pass around said? Remember, Montel Williams was bending her over back in the day. Y'all remember? Let's low down Willie Brown doing an in.
Easy on Willie.
Willie Brown, Willie giving it to her. Listen, come on, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot forget what this chick was talking about. A lot of folks are still forgetting, though, right? Even our children. I don't have any kids, but we're forgetting. The kids that are in college right now, they go into her little VP to her house, dancing the sexy red, right? And this is your leadership, right? Biden's angels doing exactly what they know how to do. Mislead, right? Cover and do the bidding for all degenerate society. This one right here ain't no different. Let's be very clear.
You forgot deflect too.
Deflect. That's a fact. Listen, real quick, let me holler at I see my brother Twiz done tapped in. Peace to the West Coast bully in the building. My brother Twiz, what it look like real quick? And then I'm gonna go to the comments and we spin back. What it look like, Twiz?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Happy days. What's up on this day of the sun? How everybody doing?
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
We just happy to be another Black man on this earth doing what it do on a Sunday cook up. You understand? We done switched the meal up this afternoon, brother Twiz. It's Sunday. You understand me?
Yeah. So what's on the Sunday dinner plate or the Sunday dinner menu? Is it Chinese food? Is it Chinese food and curry?
Check out the menu. We got stir fry. We got Indian curry, nigga. We got curry goat.
Man, we got cassava melons. I see cassava melons. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know what I mean?
Hey, we got that. We got
jollof rice.
We got Somali and Nigeria. Don't forget the Somali and Nigeria bread.
Yeah, I see the injera on the right side right there. You understand me? So, I mean, I don't eat that bullshit. You know what I mean? That they on. But hey, I just wanted to tap in. I'm on the highway. You know what I'm saying? I just want to tap in on Come Drunk. You know what I'm saying? Ever since she came into prominence, you know what I'm saying? She never identified as Black. She identified as everything else, the cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget when she got elected DA in San Francisco. They had her on the news saying, "I'm the first Indian, Jamaican, Asian DA in the history of San Francisco." And I'm looking at her like, "Bitch, you Black. Bitch, you went to school in East Oakland. You went to the hood rat school, the bougie hood rat school, Skyline High School. And they known for being headhunters. You know what I'm saying? And that's how she got to where she is, because she's a headhunter. You know what I mean? And how could you take somebody like that serious that's using sexuality over her mentality? Well, I'm going to say mentality. You know what I'm saying? Because we know she like to eat men, but you know what I mean? It's she's kind of like, how should I say, a Trojan horse? You know what I'm saying? Because she's pretending to be something that she's not. And I'm still waiting for our sisters to call her out for faking to be a black woman. You know, I can't wait till a black woman call her out. Yeah, I'm a real black woman who could trace their lineage. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till they call her out, because that will shut her down. What could she say? She couldn't say shit because she's an anchor baby. You know what I mean? I don't even call her first generation. You know what I'm saying? For real. What's the difference between her and Nikki Haley?
Ooh.
I'm gonna leave that. I dropped the mic right there. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the West Coast bully, brother Twizzle in the building. Gunshot for Twiz. Listen, man. The cook up is crazy. I didn't know we was gonna have the international buffet on Sunday out this motherfucker, but it is here, ladies and gentlemen. The international buffet is getting cooked up today, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So again, you know, we wanted to make sure I don't have too much for Mayor Bowser and all that, because honestly, the broadcast been going on quite long. I got Bowser, we got Ohan in there. Ohan talk a lot of shit, but I don't feel like I want to try to save a little, because we might do a spin back part 2, Pat Talk number 15, probably sometime this week, because our brother Short is down for the count a little bit. I'm definitely hope he get a little bit better. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for tapping in with us here. For the brothers that's in the building right now, any last words? I'm gonna go to you last, brother Q. But I got my brother Negro, I got my brother Coke Sharp. Brother Coke Sharp, any last words from you, sir, on this international buffet right here? Any last words from you, brother Coke Sharpton?
You already know what it is. If you see Tawana is 5, you feel me? And I'm still looking for that Cadillac Escalade car note. We at with it.
Coke in the building, real show. 130 of y'all in the building. Make sure you have like, share, subscribe. 130 heavy on the various platforms. Damn, we in here heavy on a Sunday. 134 now. Shout out to y'all. Shit. Brother Negro, what's on your mind, sir? Any last words for us as we get ready to slide up out of here?
I'm gonna second a couple of things. I'm gonna spin the block on what
well, you know what? Hold up. Pardon me, brother Negro. Pardon me. I got my brother Twiz. I'm gonna let him get his last word, and then our 2 honorable co-hosts for today. We'll go with you 2 last. Brother Twiz, any last words from you, sir? And then we're gonna keep on sliding here. Any last words?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I just want to give a shout out to the room of my black brothers in here, man. You know what I mean? We missed the Saturday sit down, but you know, we can always, what we miss, we can always make up. You know, understand me? So shout out to the brothers in here. We're going to keep our foot on their necks like we keeping our foot on the gas, and we ain't letting up for nothing to nobody, because the only thing soft about us is when a woman make us. Other than that, we going hard. You know what I'm saying? I drop my mic. Y'all have a good day. I love my back brothers. Now, I don't like y'all. I love y'all, because without y'all, it's no me. Peace.
Salute the brother Twiz. 139 of y'all in here. Shout out to that. Shout out to my brother Twiz for tapping in real quick from the West Coast. Shout out to that brother. Shout out to my brother Coke Sharpton with that heavy Signier game that he dropped us, y'all. Y'all want to understand the thought and mindset of folks? You got to understand the origin. So shout out to my brother Coke Sharpton for providing us with information that you can trace to make it make sense. The math got to math at some point. Brother Negro, it's on you, sir.
Yo, I got 5 on it. Shout out to brother Coke Sharpton with the follow-up and the slam dunk. So it won't look like I was just talking crazy to the public about these individuals. No, these are a real pervasive problem in a culture that we need to be aware of. Not all melanated people are black, and not all black people are for our cause, you know? And we have to really, really take that into consideration. And just because she has a vagina doesn't mean that she's evil. It doesn't mean that she's for Black American people, you know? We got to take all those things into consideration. Don't trust a big butt and a smile. There's a whole lot of things that can be taken away from this conversation in regards to these melanated women that we see, that Brother Chef has taken his time to present to us as a community. It's for us as men to call these women out, make sure that they don't represent us. They don't have historically they don't represent us, and we need to stand on that firmly, saying that you're from that Jezebel lineage, you're from that cashier lineage, you're from that the other lineage that Brother Coke Sharpton spoke about. We need to really they come at us and say that we're from this lineage, that we're cotton pickers. All right, cool, so be it. My ancestors are cotton pickers. What are your ancestors? See, we fought against the white man. What the hell y'all do? Y'all acquiesced to the white man. Y'all wanted to be the white man. And that's the thing that we need to really, really put out there, saying that, no, we're not like these Africans. These Africans has always been watered down people. That's the reason why we over here and they over there. So I just want to say shout out to you for holding this space. And I think it's a much needed conversation. You should have thrown that girl Talia too, that colored young girl, talking down playing reparations. Don't think I'm gonna let your little skinny behind pass because you're from South Africa now. Yeah, we got you on watch too.
Shout out to the Negro coming through one more time. My brother Negro, man. Salute to you, man. I appreciate you coming through with that fire. And again, y'all definitely make sure y'all go check out the book that my brother Negro recommended. Again, what's that book again, brother Negro? So for reference for the folks to go ahead and do some homework after they leave.
Yes. Wait, I got it right now in my hand right now because I'm in the house. It is called Daughters of the Trade, and the full title of it is Atlantic Slavers and Interracial Marriages on the Gold Coast. It's by Perline. It's Pernille Ispen. So get that book today. It's a very great book. It's not that expensive. I think it's underneath $20. So get some history that you can weaponize and use in the real time. That's a good book, family.
Salute. Daughters of the Trade, right, brother Negro? Salute to the family. Salute.
Yes, sir.
All right, it's in the chat, y'all. Go ahead and check the chat out. Daughters of the Trade is the book. 140 of y'all in here. Salute. 141 numbers still climbing. Man, let everybody know about the newest hot black media matrix coming up all through this goddamn thing, and particularly on their next podcast. I got my brother Q in the building from Let's Talk 2. Again, if y'all haven't subscribed to my brother Q, Let's Talk 2, make sure y'all go ahead and do that. Brother Q, you got the floor, brother.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining us on a Sunday afternoon. It's interesting that you guys joined us during this time, because this is a time where most people are getting ready for the beginning of their work week. So we appreciate you guys for joining us. Shout out to all the brothers, Coke Sharpton, our brother Twizzle, Negro came in with the gun smoke. Shout out to the chef, man, for putting the panel together. Shout out to Dr. Short Dr. Short is like he's the connector to the train, the conductor. And
he's the connector to Kevin Samuels.
He wasn't able to join us today, unfortunately, but hopefully you guys will see him soon. But appreciate you guys in the chat, man. And just my last closing words is just be aware of what's going on around you and knowing how to navigate through this land.
And that's a fact. Shout out to my brother Q one more time. Gunshot for brother Q. Let's Talk 2 in the building again. You know what sound is? Y'all don't know who that brother is. Brother Q, Let's Talk 2. Subscribe to him really quickly. I gotta have a moment of silence for the great one. Y'all know the tradition. Kevin Samuels, 5 seconds. He's got to have it with all due respect. So, and with that being said, Kevin, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for joining us here today, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to say this: if you're catching this on the replay, If you want to support the program, feel free to hit the Cash App, $FTS49, sponsors $30 minimum to sponsor the program, $FTS49. You could also Venmo me at From the Soil, all capital letters, Venmo. And you can hit the Bitcoin. We do the Bitcoin in here as well. We're not playing. Support the program. Lip service ain't real service. Shout out to those who did support the program today. We appreciate you. Bill coming through. Nico coming through. Salute to you and everyone that's in here that's tapped in with us. And I want to thank everybody as usual. Again, go ahead, check out From the Soil, our docu-series, ladies and gentlemen. All right. If you haven't checked it out, feel free to go check that out as well. All right. FromTheSoil.tv is the link. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, in a system of white degeneracy, you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. My name is Chef C, and I'm out. Salute to the family. Most definitely.